Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Sovereign Citizen Chronicles. Today, we're going to be courtroom hopping into three different courts. All right. The first court case is going to be Judge David Ricke out of the 13th District of Kansas. He's going to be going up against a sovereign citizen. All right. So let's get to this first case.
Okay, why is there a Juan Flores on this meeting? There's no response. Okay, whoever is Juan Flores's box is muted, so I'm not hearing anything. They can unmute themselves if they've got some business with this court.
Hi, Judge. I am Counselor Flores, and I am resident McLaughlin's counselor, and they have him here right now.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Jesse Travis McLaughlin.
Yeah.
This is State of Kansas versus Jesse Travis McLaughlin. It's case number 2024 CR 397. Mr. McLaughlin appears from a Hutchinson Correctional Facility Zoom location. Brett Sweeney appears for the state of Kansas. Mr. McLaughlin, I have before me a charge of battery against a law enforcement officer, a level 5 person felony. Since a felony is involved, we will not be asked to plead at this time. Rather, a preliminary hearing scheduling will be made before your assigned judge, which is the Honorable Jan Satterfield. Judge Satterfield's next docket for that purpose would be April 7, 2025, 2:30 p.m. You must fully participate by Zoom in Judge Satterfield's docket at that time, April 7, 2:30 p.m. I trust, Mr. McLaughlin, that you, being in prison, don't have the financial resources to hire your own lawyer.
That's all right. I can represent myself.
Okay, well, you can take that request up with Judge Satterfield. At this point,
Every
in
man
the
must
abundance of
speak for
caution,
himself, Your
I will
Honor.
appoint a lawyer, and then you can, before Judge Satterfield, properly conduct a proceeding if you really do want to
Point of
represent.
order. What gives you jurisdiction to appoint a lawyer over me?
I have statutory authority to do so. So, Mr.
So
McLaughlin,
what
I'm
gives
going to
you
appoint a lawyer at this
what
point.
gives you jurisdiction over me? You must establish jurisprudence as a point of order.
I'm not going to play your sovereign citizen gibberish game.
I'm not a sovereign citizen, sir.
All
I'm not a
right.
sovereign citizen.
You sound like one.
Well, I'm not.
All right. I assure you I have jurisdiction. So we've got a court date set before Judge Satterfield. I'm going to appoint James Watts at this point to represent Mr. McLaughlin, noting he's made a request to represent himself. Again, that's to be a matter taken up fully before the assigned judge, Satterfield, at the hearing date on April 7 at 2:30 or some later time. And the court will set a $5,000 cash or professional surety bond, though obviously it's not going to affect his current incarcerated status. All right. Bond set, attorney appointed, court date established on Judge Satterfield's calendar. Anything else we need to address at this time, Mr. Sweeney?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. McLaughlin? Apparently not.
Yeah, you need to address the point of order. As a
I've
first
addressed
point of
all
order
of the
in
points
court
of order that I'm
first
inclined
thing
to address
you must
today.
do is establish
Mr.
your
McLaughlin.
jurisdiction.
The McLaughlin matter is currently in recess, and we'll move on to another matter on the docket.
I object to moving on in any manner.
Objection noted and overruled, Mr. McLaughlin. All right, let's move
Request
on.
a copy of- I
Thank
request
you
a
to
copy
the
of the
Hutchinson
minutes,
Correctional Facility.
transcripts, these proceedings.
We can go ahead and take him off the meeting at this time.
All right, y'all. So that's the end of the first proceeding. Mr. McLaughlin, it ended badly for him. He's going to be back in court. And I believe the judge they mentioned was Judge Sutherford. All right, that's going to be on April 7th. All right, so I will definitely try to bring that to you. All right, so we're on to the next case. We're going to be in the courtroom of Judge Nicholas Iarocci out of Ohio. He's going to be going up against a female sovereign citizen who is going to, kind of get into a heated exchange with him. All right, so let's get to this second case.
Court is now on the record in City of Conneaut versus Amber McHenry, 24 TRD 819. Ms. McHenry entered no plea to charges of no operator's license and expired plates, each of which is a minor misdemeanor, on December 17th, 2024. I scheduled it for a bench trial for January 8th of 2025. Ms. McHenry was given notice of that bench trial. I have a signed receipt in the file showing she got notice of that bench trial. Present on January 8th, 2025 was the law director along with a police officer. Ms. McHenry failed to appear. As a result of her failure to appear, I issued a warrant for her arrest. That was January 8th. It's now over a month later, February 11th, and Ms. McHenry is now turning herself in on the warrant. She's in the courtroom, and she is without an attorney. Ms. McHenry, why were you not here on January 8th of 2025?
I have a question about the case.
Ms. McHenry, sit down. This is not your courtroom. Sit in that chair.
I have a question about the case. That's not the case number that I had.
Yes, it is, Ms. McHenry. You've got other cases pending that are set for jury trial.
The original case number that I had was like TDR, like 0800 something. And
24 TRD 819.
819. Okay. I was just double checking on the case number. Can you repeat your question then? No.
Why were you not here on January 8th?
I put in an appearance and it was rejected and struck from the record, and I was sent a letter saying that I am not who I said I was. So I have a question about that because I don't understand.
This is not a discussion here. This is not a conversation. I ask a question, you respond to my question. Now, this is typical behavior for you because you're a sovereign citizen. At least you claim to be.
I've never claimed that.
Well, your documentation that you file, including the one you filed today that did not have a correct caption or case number on it, is indicative of that. So let me ask you, Ms. McHenry, again, why were you not physically, personally present in the courtroom on January 8th, 2025 for your trial?
I need the oath and bonds to be put for each person acting as a public official in this case who is acting as a public servant to be put on the record. And I also require the indemnity bond, and I'm going to require the other bonds. I need the accounting. Please, for the record, let it be known that you exited.
I
while
did.
asking.
I exited the courtroom and asked a police officer, probation
Who has
officer.
the indemnity bond? Where is the bill of particulars?
The
Because
bond
I
is
did not receive
being,
it.
the warrant is being executed. You're being taken into custody. Take her down to the jail now.
I was not given the warrant.
Take her down to
either.
the jail now.
Why am I being arrested?
Take her down
For
to the
what?
jail.
What crime have I committed? Get off me. This is kidnapping. This is a false arrest.
Stop fighting.
No, this is a false arrest.
Okay, relax.
This is kidnapping. They're violating my rights, my constitutional rights. I put in...
I thought the Constitution didn't apply to you.
The Constitution applies to every living man and woman.
Yeah.
You are violating your oath, Mr. Iarocci. What am I being arrested for? What am I being arrested for? What am I being arrested for?
All right, y'all. So that's the end of that second case. All right. So Karen is off to jail, or Miss Amber rather, but she definitely had the Karen tendencies. All right. I mean, when it's all said and done, I mean, I think she had like $300 in fines, and now she's locked up, and she's probably going to have to pay. She's going to have to pay a bond, and no telling where this is going to go. So now we're heading into the courtroom of Judge Dwayne Kmetz. I believe I'm pronouncing his last name right. I believe it's Kmetz, and he's out of the 17th Circuit Court of Kent, Michigan. All right, so let's get to this case. Oh, and by the way, he's going up against somebody who is behind on their child support. So this is a really simple case. The sovereign citizen stuff is going to kick in until later in this hearing, but you'll see what I mean. Let's get to this case.
I'm wondering if you got those check stubs that I've entered in.
I didn't get any check stubs.
So
Oh yeah. Wait a minute. I did get some check stubs. Yes, you were the one that did have them. Yeah, I had a question on those because you got 2 support notices on each stub. So do you have more than one case?
yes, sir.
Okay. How many children do you have?
2.
Okay, this one and another one.
Yep.
Okay, because I was trying to figure out. I have a feeling that what's happening is they are maxed out on how much they can take out of your checks. The reason that you keep getting hauled in is because you're not paying the full amount of child support.
But at the time that they was taking the money out of my checks, they
Right.
issued the warrant.
Right. If you owe
And-
$100 and they only collect 70, you're gaining $30 a month in arrears. And once the
No.
arrears hit a month, well, that's why I was asking, because the amount of child
Those-
support that is are these weekly checks or monthly?
Weekly, sir.
Okay.
It's 440. They was receiving that, and at the time,
And how much did they say that you owe?
just now recently,
Yeah.
they said I was in arrears just 5,000.
Okay. Yeah, because I have a feeling that's what's happening. Now
But-
you have the right to have this child support reviewed at this point in time. It's been 3 years since the last order, so it can be reviewed for you.
But my whole thing is, I wasn't paying because last year, April,
Mhm.
they got a $5,000 check on my behalf
From whom?
from an employer, from a settlement, which was from an employer.
Okay, and they confiscated all 5,000?
Yep, it was.
Okay, and that should have gone against any arrears. Now their next question would be, are you sure they got it?
Child support?
No, the $5,000 check.
Child support got that $5,000 check.
Are you sure they got it?
Yes, I'm sure they
Okay,
got.
because what I would do if I were you is ask for an accounting of the case to make sure they got it. And accounting will give you a computer readout of every month that you owe and every payment that's been made. And they do it in writing. So if you write them and ask for an accounting of your child support, because some of this stuff will not be in the court file. The court file is a public file. So the court does not know how much your arrearage is unless they apply for a show cause. Okay.
Okay. And I haven't been paying recently because I was under the impression that the obligation is $445 a month.
Well, it looks like how have you not been are you not employed anymore?
I'm at work right now.
Okay. Well, it's because the employer automatically takes it out.
Right. I just started this job, and
Okay. Then you have to notify the front of the court what job you changed to, so that they can apply it to the appropriate. Because they issue an automatic income withholding order. Again, that does not go in the court file because it contains some very specific information about you, and you don't want that public information.
this is what I'm trying to say to you, sir.
Hmm?
They received $5,000 last
And I told you what to do to deal with that.
April.
Yeah.
I was under the impression covered the rest of the year. I did not know that they.
No, they don't cover anything forward. They only cover things currently owed.
Right. Okay.
They can't hold money forward. If they have an overpayment within 48 hours, they will send you back a check for the overpayment.
Okay. Well, they still was in breach of contract.
There is no contract. This is the law. That's not a contract.
Is this
They're
Zoom
following-
just about child support?
Yeah. Sorry, Ms. Cry. That's what his motion's about.
And
So-
why did I have to join? I'm thinking this for
Well,
my
'cause,
motion.
You have a motion?
Yes, I do.
I have a motion for child support and an amended motion for child support. Those are the only motions before the court.
My motion wasn't about child support.
What was your motion about?
It was basically just for me trying to get his rights and stuff revoked. I did all this
We
stuff.
we don't revoke rights in a parent in a family law case.
You should have been
That's
getting some paper. I did all this stuff
well,
last week.
that motion would be automatically denied because we do not revoke parental rights in a family law case. That has to be done in a neglect case,
In a what case?
an abuse neglect case.
So why did they have me filling out the papers?
I have no idea. I don't know what papers you filled out. I don't have them. Okay. So I'm sorry, I didn't know you had a motion. But I was going to ask for your input before we finish this. I'm just trying to deal with his issues on child support.
Okay.
He seems to be under a misapprehension that this is a contractual relationship, and it's not. It's a statutory relationship.
Okay.
The front of the court is following their statutory authority to collect child support on behalf of the child. So that's what's necessary, and they will automatically follow their rules and the statutes in doing so. The court tells them when or if child support should be reviewed. And again, I've informed you, sir, Mr. Miller, you have the right to ask for a child support review if that's what you're asking for. But yeah, if you're not paying support, they're going to be hauling you in to explain why you're not paying.
Well, I also was sick.
Okay, that's fine too. But again, you're going to have to explain why the payments weren't being made and why you owe.
Payments wasn't being made because I was under.
You're under a misapprehension, not an understanding. So that one I could tell you you're wrong on. So the best you can do is ask for an accounting to make sure that all money is accounted for and all payments are accounted for. Now, do you want this sent to the front of the court for a child support review?
I want this case closed and dismissed.
It's not going to be closed and it's not going to be dismissed.
So even though they were receiving the full monthly obligations, it's okay for them to.
If you owe, they're going to haul you in to find out why you're not paying the amount.
And we wasn't receiving I wasn't receiving no full amount.
Well, ma'am, part of this you're not going to receive the full amount. You're on state aid. The reason that this case was brought, it was brought by the state of Michigan because of your state aid. When you're on state aid, the state mandates the child support be paid in accordance with the law, and then they confiscate portions of that child support to reimburse the state for what they're paying on behalf of the child.
Is this Admiralty Maritime Court law?
No, it's not Admiralty Maritime Court law. This is the state of Michigan. We are not in the middle of an ocean.
Because the flag in the back got a gold fringe on it.
Yeah, don't even do that bull. That's a bunch of bull.
You have
it is a United States. I don't know what you're receiving, ma'am, but this case was brought by the prosecutor's office on behalf of DHHS because of state aid involvement.
Oh, I don't receive anything. I haven't since
okay, well then once you stop that, then you should be receiving the full amount, but the state will confiscate part of anything that's still owed to them from any child support collected. Right now, I'm not sure how much the arrearage is. Obviously, there is an arrearage. So, no, the UCC, the Uniform Commercial Code, does not apply to this court, sir. This is a family law court.
That you don't have on the gown neither, so you're not.
You're right. That's because I'm an appointed judicial official, not an elected judicial official. So yes, I have a full authority. I am sworn in. I am an attorney prior to being in my judicial capacity. So yeah, I have full authority, and the authority is given to me by statute as well. So I follow the statutes, the laws that I have to follow.
So this statutes and codes, it's not actually law.
It's not code. It's law. It's statutes. It's the laws of the state of Michigan.
Statutes and codes.
Statutes, no codes. The Uniform Commercial Code does not apply to this court.
Ouch.
All right. Do you want the child support review or not, sir?
I do want the child support review.
Okay. In that case, I will send this for a child support review. Ms. Cry, any questions, ma'am?
Nope.
All righty. I will look at your motion when I do receive it, ma'am. I don't know when it's scheduled for, but it was not scheduled for this morning. Okay.
That's what I thought this was for. Okay.
Yeah. No problem. This was for his motion.
Uh-oh.
All right. Have a good morning to both of you. I'll send this to the front of the court for child support review. Have your most recent current pay stub available. Both of you.
I'm under the impression that there's a warrant.
I
Yeah,
didn't
you
know.
do have a warrant.
I didn't notice a warrant, but that wouldn't come up on this file for this motion. That would be a separate issue. You might want to call the warrant department if you believe there's a warrant, because you can deal with that.
I
Okay.
wasn't properly served on.
Again, the court has no paperwork concerning any of your warrant. I don't have her paperwork for her motion. I can't advise on things that I don't have before me because I need to look at them before I find out if they're properly served or not. Call the warrant office and find out what's going on. If you believe there's a warrant, this is the first I've heard of it.
This is the motion for support.
This is the motion for support, and that's why I'm sending it to the front of the court for child support review.
And this all is under the same thing. Why they issued the warrant? Supposedly.
No, that's separate issues. This is ongoing support. Your warrant is about back support, if there is one. Okay. Yep. Two separate departments. All righty. Good luck. Have a good morning. Take care, everybody.
You too.
Motion's granted for support.
All right, y'all. So that's the end of that hearing. All right. So this young man, like I said, he's in there for being behind his child support. He was making a good case at first, but then it just went south. The judge, he was keeping his patience, but at the end, you can tell he pushed him the wrong way a little bit. And then he tried to hit him with the last minute sovereign citizen Hail Mary, and it just didn't work out for him. All right. So on that note, I just want to thank you for checking out these 3 cases. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Also hit that notification bell so you get notified when I upload more videos. This is Carl from Sovereign Citizen Chronicles. I catch you on the next court case. God bless. Peace.